Today's Black Friday, folks. Do you know what that means? That means most of you are probably going to hear this while you're on your way to a sale, or you may be on your way to work. It's November 23rd, 2018. Welcome back to another episode of Fantastic Friday. Welcome, hi, hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Who remembers that intro? I think it's like the first 9 or 10 episodes I had that in the intro. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome. Oh man, what a treat. What a treat. Better than a piece of pumpkin pie? Oh, I cannot lie. Welcome back to another inspiring episode. This is actually a Fantastic Friday episode. I'm super excited. This time of year gets my engines revving. The reason is I love traveling. I love breaking. I don't like breaking routines. I love seeing family. I love a good cup of coffee that my pops makes. I love the smell of turkey cooking, the sound of women in the kitchen. I'm just totally kidding. Totally kidding. Don't email me. I do love the sound of the kitchen roaring, though. Visiting home is cool. I love seeing my family. Not going to see my entire family at Thanksgiving this year, but it will be great for those who I do see. I love Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had an excellent Thanksgiving. There was a Bob Goff quote, and he said something to the effect of, "Don't be too hard on each other. Everybody's got a lot going on," especially during the holidays. When the holidays are coming around, we tend to get a little self-centered, perhaps worried about. Instead of that, focus on them completely. Let yourself completely be present and relaxed and enjoy the show. Just enjoy the life, as I always say. I want to talk about a specific topic on today's episode of The Hard Healthy Hustle. It's not just about confidence, self-confidence, or self-esteem. It's on what builds trust in yourself. Wrap it up in a nutshell here for you. Keeping any promise to yourself. Keeping any and all promises you make to yourself. That doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to be good at this right out the gate. What I do, I actually got this tip from Evan Carmichael, which is don't tell yourself you're going to get up at 6 a.m. if you're not going to get up and you know you're going to hit snooze twice. Don't even set it for 6 a.m. If you know you're going to need that extra hours of sleep, set it for 7:30. Set it for 8:30. Don't waste your time trying to overachieve in areas that you know you're not ready for yet. And give yourself permission to do that. That's huge. Just take small steps. And that is the biggest thing. The consistency, the small steps, relaying information I've learned from past guests. I'm going to really be tapping into the expertise of Mr. Ed Milet. Him, Evan Carmichael, other guests that I have on the show, all kind of aggregating. These guys are way ahead of me. So don't take my word for it, take their word for it. I'm more or less, like I say, I'm sharing with you guys my journey on these Fantastic Friday episodes. Also, this holiday season, when you see family, especially friends or those closest to you, loved ones, if any of them are a business owner or an entrepreneur, okay, maybe they are doing something independently, and they may seem cold, maybe they seem dismissive when you have conversations with them, I can almost guarantee you this is because they are 110% over any people pleasing. Because they trust themselves and they have true confidence, because they keep promises to themselves, at least most of the time. They have no other option or else they will not succeed. If you want to breathe, you have to keep your word to yourself if you're a business owner. That's something I have found, especially interviewing them as well. I've interviewed some small business owners who are in the new founding years, like the first 1 through 3 years. And these folks, a lot of times, they almost can appear cold until you really warm them up in conversation. And the reason I believe is because they just don't people please anymore. They don't perform. They don't care what people that they're talking with think about them, because they have 28 million things on their mind that they need to be working on at that very moment, and they can't really wait until they can get back to it. Not only that, they just have a self-confidence build up at this point to where they really just don't care. It's nothing reflecting against you in a negative way, but it's actually a beautiful thing. So try to almost emulate that. I want you to give effort in your conversations, don't get me wrong, but if you do notice that, I would encourage you to look for that, especially with business owners, because I think I've seen it to be true roughly 85% of the time. Some business owners are super outgoing, are quite outgoing. Again, that self-confidence though, Ed Milet talks about this. It's about keeping those daily promises to yourself. I'm going to harp on this here. If you're anything like me, you overlook the fundamentals while you're looking for the slight edge, while you're looking for the next personal development or hack that you can do. Like, stop doing that and actually assess your fundamentals. Are you sleeping okay? Do you have a comfortable place to live? Are you drinking enough water? Are you getting up on time? Are you following through on the small day-to-day things? Is your room clean? Is your desk organized? These fundamentals are so key. Are you exercising at least 30 minutes a day? A lot of us can say, oh yeah, I could do that. Or a lot of us will say, it's give or take, here or there. But what I will say is this: before you focus on anything else in terms of peak performance and habits and reading books and getting excited about that, make sure you're not just picking up another book to distract yourself and actually facilitate procrastination in your life. Let me say that again. Make sure you're not just picking up another book or watching another helpful video to facilitate procrastinating in your own life. What do you mean? What that means is, are you just looking to that book for a short-term high of, oh, I'm making progress. Look, I'm reading this book. It's going to help me do X, Y, and Z. Or are you reading that book because you've already got the fundamentals down on lock and you're just now getting ready to improve that next small step forward? It's all about the small baby steps. You have to keep it super simple. I haven't yet been asked this about consistency, but I have been asked in surprised tones, oh, you do every week. People haven't yet been, wow, you've been doing it nonstop for that long, or how'd you do that consistently? How did you stay driven and motivated? The point of it is, it's the fundamentals. It's because I keep it super simple. Like I tell you many, many times, I polish these episodes, but there are times where I want to go back. Maybe it's 9:30 at night and I've wrapped up an edit. I've exported it and I'm all ready to upload it to the hosting account. I want to get it going so I can work on the post and everything. And I realize as I play it back that it would sound a little bit better if I just took another hour and put in a song here or there. And there are times where I'll do that, but there are other times where I know it's not going to be good for me to take an hour just to add that really 1% improvement. You have to measure the ROI on your efforts. It's really just an esoteric gauge, and it's a subjective gauge that you know in your head. Is it really going to be worth it? And if the perfectionist in you is like, yes, do it now, go do it. Take a step back, take a deep breath, and really ask yourself, is this going to allow me to keep it super simple? And if you don't think that this approach works, or you're romantic about keeping things fancy, don't do that. Can already tell you there's been many coaches I've heard say, do not try to do things fancy, especially when you're not fancy yet. Did you catch that? When you're brand, if you're a small business, you're a brand, don't be fancy if you're not fancy. So if you're not a big company with a bunch of money, you don't have to have the things that big companies have advertising wise. It's not worth the money, the time, or the posturing of that. Just be real. We're in a day and age where that kind of marketing works anyway. It's an amazing thing. Just have a sip of coffee. I drink coffee black. Sometimes I'll put some oil in there and a little bit of coconut milk just to keep it, cool it off quicker. Comment on Instagram or email me if you guys put any oils in your coffee at times and if it helps you focus mentally. Bulletproof Coffee, many of you have heard of. I'm not affiliated with them at all, but I have tried their product and it works pretty well when you do it with the unsalted grass-fed organic butter. Very specifically, organic and grass-fed is very hard to find, plus unsalted. There's only one brand I've ever found, and it's at Whole Foods. I'm going to wrap up this episode there. Just enjoy the holiday season, guys. I know it can be stressful. It's hard. A lot of things going on towards the end of the year. Traveling is not easy. It can get us out of our rhythms. Focus on those rhythms. If you're spiritual, don't forget to take part in your spiritual rhythms to keep yourself grounded and focused, because you want to live a life that you want to live. In order to do that, you can't allow short-term distractions to derail your long-term efforts. I'm not calling travel 100% distraction. If you can focus on decreasing the pressure and noise in your life, that's important to do if you're going to continue to crush your goals. That being said, I hope you appreciate the authenticity of my episodes, and I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Fantastic Friday. I'll see you on Monday. God Godspeed.